And hello, everyone say a nice big hello.
Hail.
Hail. It is time to get freaky, it is time to get geeky. Tonight's episode of the Geek Battle show from the Extreme Improv Xstreamed channel is live and kicking. We are going to do a strange blend of comedy panel show. Oh, and I'm getting some feedback already. And the feedback is an echo, but it's gone now. But we are going to combine podcast with improv, with comedy panel show, and discussion around geeky subjects. On the show tonight, my name is David Postansky, but we also feature the very beautiful Andrew David Whittington. Say hello to the people.
Hello, people. I'm Andrew. Excuse me. Trivia. Bond trivia, of course. Roald Dahl wrote the script for You Only Live Twice.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that. Is it a good one?
Yeah.
Okay. Bonus point there. Capelthave, say hello to the people.
Hail, everyone. Hailing from the land of leopards, crocodiles, and elephants. This is Cattle Dave. I always forget to say my name at the end of it. Anyways, so my geek fact today is that, I'm a big watcher of Animal Planet, but Animal Planet is like a real documentary channel where you actually have to learn stuff about historical mythology and stuff. But the thing is that Animal Planet made up fake documentaries. It's during the years of like 2007 to 2014, they first made up a documentary about mermaids. So before mermaids, they actually made up a documentary about dragons, like real scientists discovering dragons. So that kind of the tone sets the tone. It is kind of a fake imaginary thing. But at the second time, they brought in some sort of Navy officer who actually claimed there are mermaids, and they actually made that as a real thing. But even that, the CGI kind of gave it away, where you were like, yeah, they might be speaking a little bit. But I saw 2014 a documentary about little, like, dwarf people living in the Amazon. Sorry, not in the Amazon, like somewhere in Asian forests. And the weird thing is, now the graphics actually got caught up. I actually thought that was a real thing, that I was actually watching a real thing. The story revolved around two photographers went to the Indonesia or some sort of island in Asia.
Yeah.
And one of the friends got murdered by these dwarf-like people living in the jungle. And the other friend is now being arrested because he was blamed for the murder. And this team has to go into the jungle and find out if there are little people like that. And the tone is very serious, and everything was very serious, and you feel like maybe it's a real thing. But here's the thing, though. The guy who's in jail, the actor they used, is the guy who shot Batman's parents in Batman Begins. But when I was watching it, I was like, I've seen this guy somewhere. It cannot be the real person. Then I actually realized that was a fake documentary, but they claimed it was real. Animal Planet.
Wow. Well, how about that? Animal Planet. I remember, so I'm not going to lie, for the first minute and a half, I thought you were talking about the video game Animal Crossing, so this was quite confusing. But, there you go. So, with this, we're going to get on to the rest of tonight's show. We will do some fun stuff and some fun and games in a little while. In fact, we're going to start with a little bit of that now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our guessing game round, where each of you are going to get a separate thing where you'll be able to ask me questions for 1 minute, yes or no questions, and you have to try to work out what it is that I'm thinking of, but you can only ask me yes or no answers. So, with this, I will put it to you guys. You can ask what you would like to try to figure out. So it could be a movie, it could be a TV show, it could be a video game, a comic book, a character. What would you like? And let's roll the dice to see who'll go first. Andrew, you get to go first. What would you like to try to guess today?
A movie.
A movie. So I'm going to get a random movie from the Extreme Improv Suggestions app, which you can find on extreme.tv/suggestions. So we're just going to load this baby up, and we will see what random movie we get. And the random movie here... Okay, let's see if I might just need to bring up quickly the Wikipedia page to know when this was made. Right, let's just see. Oh, hang on. Is that a... Wait. Oh, this isn't a movie. How funny. There is a film. Okay, I've got a film. Okay. This is so weird. There is a film. Okay, so, Andrew, you have 1 minute to ask me yes or no questions to work out what this film is, and here you go.
Is this film based off of a TV show?
Yes, it is.
Is it a well-known TV show?
I would say so. Yeah.
Is it live action?
No.
Animated?
No.
A mixture?
No.
I'm confused now.
Oh wait, I got it.
Did the movie come out in the 90s?
No.
The 2000s?
No.
Now?
No.
The 80s?
No.
The 60s?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hang on, that's time. That is time. So you've used up your time there. You have not quite figured it out. Capelthave, you're going to get 1 minute to try to figure out what this is. And here you go.
Is it Muppets?
Not exactly, but it's close.
Does it involve puppets?
Yes.
It's an entire movie with puppets?
Yes.
What puppet was in the 60s? I have no idea what puppet was. So, does it have to do with the creator of the Muppets?
No.
The famous guy who...
No.
Is it Big Bird?
No.
Is it... what other famous puppets were there? There was a... Was it a children TV show?
Yes.
Does it have to do with something from Mr. Rogers?
No.
Walt Disney?
No. And that is time. That is time. I'll tell you, we didn't get it.
Puppet from the 60s, David.
Right. Well, I chose a random film. I thought it was going to come up with what I believe was a live-action remake, but the title of this film was only a movie in the 60s. It was Thunderbirds Are Go, which was like marionettes. So all of the characters look like this. They're just like marionettes. Thunderbirds. So,
There's actually...
do you know the remember the, what was it called? Team America World Police. It looks like that. Team America is based on like Thunderbirds in like, it's just these marionettes. Right, so anyway.
But there is a new show called Thunderbirds with like CGI.
Yeah, quite possibly. But like from like the 60s through to the 80s or 90s, it was just marionettes. So there we go. Okay, Capelthave, what would you like to try to guess?
Character.
A character. So let's get a random character for you. And I have a character. Don't know how well I can answer about it. I'll do my best.
Oh my god.
Oh, do you know what? Shall I just get one that I know?
Yeah, that would be much easier.
That might make it easier. Right, okay. Right, so. It's not that I don't know this character. It's just that I don't know it well enough. Okay, Cap, you have 1 minute. And here you go.
Is it He-Man?
He-Man, no it is not.
Is it from the He-Man universe?
No, it's not.
Okay. Is it an animated character?
It is an animated character.
Was the TV show in the 80s?
No.
Was the TV show in the 90s?
It was in the 90s.
But did it carry it over to the 2000s?
Yes.
Was it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
Is it DuckTales?
No.
Is it Warner Brothers made?
I don't think so. It might be. No.
Was it Disney made?
No.
Ooh, not Disney. Was it G.I. Joe?
No.
Is it an action show?
Not really.
Oh, does it involve cute animals?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, it's is it Tom and Jerry?
No.
Is it Animaniacs?
No, and that is time. So,
Oh my god!
handing over to Andrew. All of the information that Capital Faith worked out carries over, and here you go.
So it started in the 90s.
Yes.
Went into the 2000s. I was going to say Futurama, but
No.
That's in the early 2000s.
20s. It is the lead character male.
Yes.
Is it superheroes?
No.
Science fiction?
No.
Is it time travel?
Not that I know of.
Is it set in a city?
No. Well, kind of, maybe.
I know, maybe.
And that is time. That is time.
Was it The Simpsons?
No, it was not The Simpsons. But the character is yellow.
Yellow character. Cartoon from the 90s. Is he an animal?
Debatable.
Wait, is it those weird things with like head bubbles and stuff?
I don't know. Shall I tell you?
Yeah.
It is SpongeBob SquarePants.
Ah!
So apparently it started on May 1st, 1999. So there you go. Right, guys, I'm going to give you the opportunity to each challenge me with one. So think up what you can challenge me with anything, or I can request something from you. Who would like to go first?
No, I go.
Okay, so do you have something, or do you want me to choose a category?
You choose one. Choose one.
Okay, I'm going to choose. What's something that definitely won't end up as an animated character? Right. Okay, I am going to choose a movie.
A movie.
Yeah.
Okay, a good one, not an ambiguous one. Okay.
You got one?
Yeah.
Okay, and here I go. Is it animated?
Partially.
Is it CGI animation?
No.
Is it like hand-drawn style animation, like you have behind you?
Yes.
Is it Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers?
No.
Has it got live action in it?
Yes.
Oh my god. Is it Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Correct!
Yes! Okay, excellent. I scored a point.
Oh my god, he scored a point. We didn't.
Yeah, okay. Andrew, you can now challenge me with one, and if I don't get it, we'll hand it over to Cap.
Okay.
What would you like to challenge me with, or would you like me to choose a category?
I'll pick a movie.
Okay, so you're thinking of a movie?
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay, and here I go. Is it a James Bond film?
No.
Is it? Does it include spies?
No, not really. No.
Was it made in the 90s?
Yes.
Okay. Is it? Does it have Sandra Bullock in it?
No.
Does it have Keanu Reeves in it?
No.
Does it have Bruce Willis in it?
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it.
No.
Okay. Shit. Is John Travolta in it?
No.
Is Jackie Chan in it?
No.
I don't like my approach here. Okay. Is it an action film?
Yeah.
Was it made in America?
Yes.
Is it set in America?
Yeah.
Is it a cartoon? No, what am I saying? Right, is it a comedy?
No.
Is it a comedy?
Yes.
Yes. Is it Jim Carrey in it?
No.
Oh, damn. Jeff Daniels is in it. Is it Arachnophobia? Oh, I give up.
No.
Okay, I didn't do it. Capital Fave, over to you, and here you go.
Is it an action comedy?
Yeah, it has both those genres.
Does it have Arnold?
Does it have what?
Does it have Arnold starring in it?
No.
Okay, so comedy / action. Ooh, It's not a Jackie Chan film. It's no. Oh, is it Mission Impossible?
No.
Oh, 90s. Definitely action film. Does it? Oh, does it? Is it Hot Shots?
No. I mean, when I say action, I mean there's action in it, but I would say comedy. There is another genre you could pick.
Oh, so it's comedy slapstick?
No.
Is it The Mask?
No.
90s. I'm dying. Does it have Russell Crowe in it?
No.
And that is time. That is time. Okay, was it Men in Black?
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no! Right, I don't get a point though. I don't get a point. Right. Okay, so with that, let us move rapidly on. And after those 4 or 5 rounds we've done, we've scored a grand total of 1 point between us. So, with that, we are going to let's go on to our talking section of the show. So, just like our discussion, debate, whatever you want, our podcasty part of the show. Have you guys seen anything this week? Anything you want to react to?
I've seen Dominion.
You've seen what?
Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, is it good?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Do you want to get? I don't even know how much I care about spoilers to do with Jurassic World because I think I know what the plot is.
I definitely don't.
Like,
I definitely
yeah.
don't.
Okay. So you don't have to tell us the plot, but what are your thoughts on it? What is good? What is bad?
Well, honestly, I can't spoil the movie because there's nothing to spoil. It's
Okay. How
no
much
risk.
How much is Jeff Goldblum in it?
A good portion of it.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's something.
There's individual things in the movie that are good. It's just, for me, it's, the first half of the movie can't decide what genre it is. It's, one moment it's all like a Western with dinosaurs, and then suddenly it's a Mission Impossible movie with dinosaurs, and then the third half of the movie, once it settles into what it wants to be, it's fine. It's just, it takes no risks. It's a studio movie. It doesn't do it. There's no jeopardy. Like some of the earlier films where there's actual jeopardy. There's none of that in this film. Honestly, Sam Neill looked like he didn't want to be there. Laura Dern's the only one that had any kind of like passion in her voice.
Well, yeah, but like to be honest, like she's made a career comeback with this and with Star Wars. Like she really disappeared for many years.
Who?
Laura Dern.
And
Who's that?
Exactly.
wow. As for Jeff
But
Goldblum,
my only question for you, Andrew, is that does the little girl turn into a human dinosaur?
What?
I mean, that was the thing they teased in the last movie.
The human turns into a little girl dinosaur.
Do you remember the last movie where the brother cloned his own daughter after the accident, and she's some sort of like a dino thing?
No, I don't. Like, I'll be honest, I really didn't retain the last film at all.
So, okay, the last film plot was the guy who the old dude who actually did the Jurassic Park the cloning and stuff. His brother is now the one who's actually in charge of it. But now he can like clone stuff. He cloned many other dinosaurs, and also his daughter died in an accident, so he cloned his daughter, who he's raising as a granddaughter. But at the end of the film, the villain of the film like reveals something like, "You're not even human. You don't even know who you are." Something like she's sort of a dinosaur mutant or something. Then I was like, oh, okay, so she's a dinosaur mutant. So I thought the third film was
Oh
going to
my
be
god,
about
this sounds
her.
amazing! How do I not remember this?
she doesn't turn into a dinosaur, although that might have been more interesting.
Yeah.
But she does. But she is in the film, right?
Yeah, she's in the film, but again, she looks like, I don't know, she kind of phones it in. But that's just my opinion.
Wow.
Even the kid.
And as for Jeff Goldblum, I mean, Jeff Goldblum is Jeff Goldblum. I mean, I can listen to him read from the phone book. even he looks like he's just, hey, I'm here. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not a movie that's going to stick with you after seeing it.
Well, the last one didn't, evidently, because I don't remember anything about this dino girl sort of thing.
I think the reason why the last one kind of did for me is because of the reviews. I think the reviews was extremely funny for that movie alone. So I that's the reason why I remember it versus the details.
Wow. Okay.
But here's the thing, though. I think Jurassic World made a comeback, the first film with Chris Pratt and everyone in it, I actually was excited for this because I thought that, the two kids that they showed, I thought Chris Pratt and the redhead heroine, I forgot her name.
Bryce Dallas Howard?
Probably, I don't know. The heroine of the film, the redhead. So I thought Chris Pratt and her was the grandchildren of the old man in the first Jurassic film. I thought they were the one who's taking over the park, and this is going to be like a real good story. But they turned out it didn't. But again, I had fun in the first film at least.
Do you know what? Yeah, like for me, with the Jurassic Park films, I like the very first one. The second one, I really didn't enjoy at all. Like the Lost World Jurassic Park, I really didn't like that film. The third one, I don't mind, but it felt a bit like it wasn't really necessary. It didn't really do anything important. Jurassic World, I really quite liked. The last one, I don't remember at all. And this one, I honestly don't care about if I'd heard the spoilers, so...
And the fight in the third one with the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex?
In Jurassic Park 3?
In Jurassic Park 3, yeah, the first trilogy.
Yeah.
So, that would not happen, because, like, the Spinosaurus that they actually showed was supposed not to live in the same era of T-Rex. And the thing is...
Yeah, but that was set in, like, 2003, so none of them should have been there together.
That's true. But the thing is, like, T-Rex is not going to lose to that. T-Rex doesn't.
Well, isn't this how they redeemed the T-Rex in Jurassic World? Because they had whatever that what was the mutant dinosaur in Jurassic World called?
I forgot the name.
Oh god.
The Indominus Rex.
Indominus Rex, and then Indominus Rex was like there. And then, T-Rex and then, the Raptors fight it at the end. And that is so cool. Like, when the Raptors turn up to help the T-Rex, that is, Toy Story 3 level of emotional stuff there. I'm like, yes! The hero has arrived. And then they take it down, and then the T-Rex is at the end. It's like, yeah, I'm still king of the jungle sort of thing. That was good.
None of that. None of that in Dominion.
None of that in Dominion?
No.
What happened
to... It's a dinosaur fight, but... Jurassic Park 3 is better.
Really? Okay, so guys, do you like the Godzilla films that they've made in the last 2 or 3 or 5 years, whatever it is?
Yeah, I like the first one really, really good. The first one was really done well.
I struggle with all of them, and it makes me, I really liked, like I said, the Indominus Rex versus T-Rex fight, but some of these big monsters versus big monsters things don't quite do it for me.
I think the reason for it is they abandoned all common sense. I think the first Godzilla film actually had common sense. I think they actually faced it as a disaster movie, what Godzilla was meant to represent. I think the Japanese created Godzilla as a visual representation of the nuclear apocalypse. So I think the first one kind of did, with the Godzilla and stuff. And Skull Island was very fun. I actually enjoyed Skull Island very much. King Kong battling those skull crawlers. I would say that film is the better film because it was shot in the day where I can actually see the fights.
Yeah.
The second Godzilla film, I did not like it at all because there wasn't enough fights in the day, and the last fight was complete darkness.
Yeah, is that King of the Monsters? Yeah, the only thing I liked about King of the Monsters was they finally, even though it was a cover version, they finally used Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla.
Sorry, what?
There's a song called Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay, wow.
Oh yeah, Godzilla!
That's the one.
Wow, I don't remember this.
Cover...
Okay, no, so that's cool. One to check out or not there. So,
if your expectations are high for Dominion, bring them down to right here.
Yeah.
I was actually really wanted to see Kong vs Godzilla. That was one of. So I actually made up a Facebook post. I think I have to live until 2000. I think the movie came out in 2021. So I made a post when they announced they were going to do a monster movie, and I was like, I have to live. I have to put extra efforts to live and see that movie.
Do you know what, Kat? Right, that resonates with me. Not for that film, but when the Avengers: Infinity War came out, I was doing it I was doing a little bit of travel. I was going to be flying to Alaska or wherever like a few months later, and I was like, oh my god, if this plane crashes before I've seen Endgame, that would be terrible. And that's a genuine story. I was worried that I wouldn't survive to see Endgame, but...
And the weird thing is, when after I saw this, again, the movie's nonsense, and it did not go the way I expected. But still, I had so much fun that I actually then made a Facebook post. Okay, now I've finally seen Kong versus Godzilla. Okay, now I'm ready for death.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, have anyone seen anything else this week, guys?
I watched Last Night in Soho earlier.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's a damn good film.
Oh, okay. Who's in it? Is it science fiction or anything?
It's a psychological thriller. There's a time travel element. 1960s London. It's directed by Edgar Wright.
Okay.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
What is the
Wow.
Baby Driver.
This is completely flown over under my radar.
What's the film's name?
Last Night in Soho. It's got, you've seen The Northman, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
It's got the actress in that. She's in it.
Ooh.
Blonde.
Okay.
Terence Stamp is in it.
Terence Stamp, as in General Zod.
Yeah, he's in it.
Amazing.
And also Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted is in it.
Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted. This is a very random... Well, Edgar Wright, I can believe this would be the cast he put together. Wow. And what would you give it out of 5, Andrew?
5.
5 out of 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
That is a lofty score. Okay,
I trust Andrew's opinion because his reviews are always excellent.
Okay, well, this is a good point, Andrew. What is a film you don't like? What's a unpopular opinion film that you don't like?
Unpopular opinion?
Yeah, so like I could say unpopular opinion. I didn't like Ghostbusters, and everyone would be like, "What? Ghostbusters is amazing." So, what's your unpopular opinion, or Cap?
I'll have to think for a moment.
Okay, Cap, do you have one?
I think it's set for most films.
You don't like most films?
I mostly say like it might be an unpopular opinion, but I do like. Okay, unpopular opinion. I didn't like Endgame that much.
What? Okay, no. Did you like Infinity War though?
I liked Infinity War a lot, but Endgame.
It dropped the ball, didn't it?
Yeah, because the expectations were really high, and they were setting up a lot of things, but they didn't pay off.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like my thoughts on where Endgame went wrong is starting off where it's like they're gonna go and fight Thanos, and they just kill him straight away. It does give the sense of, oh, now what? And then they have to re-find the plot. They literally, it then takes another half an hour before they're like, well, let's time travel so then we can go and fight this guy that we literally just killed.
Yeah, just abandon all the emotional growth that we've been through.
And skip 5 years. Yeah.
I think they do that with. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm trying to think of unpopular opinion. I'm kind of the opposite. I tend to like films that. I think we did a Geek battle once where I defended X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Well, that's an unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. So you like all films then? It would seem.
There's plenty of films I didn't like. Jurassic World Dominion.
Well,
Andrew, you seriously want me to give you some suggestions?
No, I don't think that would be an unpopular opinion.
Okay, so I'll tell you some of the things that I've seen this week, and some of them may be unpopular opinions. So, first of all, like we were discussing this on a group chat last night. I've seen the first 2 episodes of Miss Marvel, and there's things that which are all right about it, but generally I'm like, what the hell are Disney Plus doing? Like with these, and overall it's like my beginning to have my feelings on the Disney Plus shows from Marvel overall. It's like they never have any villains. Like this, I don't mean this to like be spoiler if you haven't seen it. 2 episodes in, and there has not been a single fight. The only danger, and again this is minor spoiler, but I'm willing to give it because it's that minor. The only superhero saving anyone or anything is a couple of people have fallen off of things, and Ms. Marvel has had to try to break their fall, stop them falling. But other than that, there is no danger, there are no stakes, there is no peril. The only stakes is, I want to go to this party, you're not allowed. And like honestly, I was like, is this one meant to be for like 7-year-olds? It's just it's like it's got some humor. It's got a little bit of a vibe, a bit like Spider-Man: Homecoming, where it's like, oh, it's a teenager at school kind of thing. But generally, if this wasn't a Marvel series, I would have switched it off and never watched it again. Is my honest thought.
But here's the thing, though. So you guys are familiar with the show X-Men Evolution, right? Are you guys?
Only by the name, and I assume it's got the X-Men in it.
It got the X-Men in it, but it's also because it came out in the 2000s. So the previous X-Men series, which was the vastly popular one, everyone really liked it and had a very serious tone in it. And this 2001 X-Men Evolution was actually a little bit lighthearted and it took place in a high school. A lot of people didn't like that because a lot of people thought, like, they are X-Men. They were used to, like, doing this big things. What are they doing in a high school? But that was actually, as a kid, for me, I actually really enjoyed that because I was at time in school and I really enjoyed watching that. So they might be targeting for a very young audience. So they might, maybe that, like, I think it does, because it's a totally new character. That's the other thing. They're not actually ripping off an old character's name.
Yeah.
So they're going completely fresh. I think what their plan is to capture the very young audience so they can build the new fan base. Which is, I think, I would commend that because I hate bait and switches. Like, going with a new character, that's like a wonderful idea.
What, in Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's my other theory, right? So, when you watch, like, the original Avengers films, like, so, like, the early ones, you get, like, all of the Avengers they have now are just, like, they're just, like, they shouldn't be superheroes. None of them. Like, literally none of them should be superheroes. I'm gonna bear with me a minute and I'll tell you why. So, if we look at the first few, and we've got Iron Man, and Tony Stark, he like, his company, he's a genius, and two, he builds weapons. So then he takes this knowledge and he makes a suit for himself. Then we have Captain America. Now, he gets some super soldier serum, but he's so strong of heart.
Steroids.
And right, steroids, but he's in the army. He is a soldier. We get Thor, and he is the god. He is the literal god. We get Hawkeye, who is super trained. We get Black Widow, who is super trained. We get the Incredible Hulk, who has this thing happen, and then he's on the run, and he's incredibly strong on that. So now let's roll forward.
Who's also a genius.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. The Incredible Hulk, also a genius, and that is a good point. So, and then we get a few others along the way, which we can pick up on. But basically, so in Black Widow, we are introduced to Black Widow's sister, and she is very much like Black Widow. That is fine. Then you get the TV show Hawkeye, which I liked. But the new Hawkeye is literally just someone who is a fan of Hawkeye. So then there's Captain Marvel, and, you know, and she's like, oh god, I've got all these powers and stuff, and being trained on this alien world. And now Ms. Marvel is a fangirl of Captain Marvel who has found a bracelet.
I think because, David, I think, like, it follows the trend of 2022, where, like, random people on the internet...
It's all just random people. So, like, and, like, I don't know what the story of She-Hulk is going to be yet, and I don't know the character to be able to say. But it's like She-Hulk attorney at law. And the point you made is, like, Bruce Banner is like a genius. She's an attorney. It's like, there's a different level here. Now, War Machine is a soldier, but he's obviously he's still a fighter, but he's still like War Machine, but he's not Tony Stark. Like every single, and then like the new Thor is Thor's girlfriend. Like every single Avenger is just like a poorer version of the original.
Just random. Again, I mean, another unpopular opinion. Again, the reason why when I said, like, get rid of the Valkyrie, like, she's now the king, again, queen or king, I don't know. So, the Asgard thing, like, how is she capable of, like, ruling? I mean, there are no gods left, I would say, like Thor, and there's only a few gods left. But again, these people are, like, intergalactic people with powers.
Yeah.
All she has is a sword and a horse. How is she going to protect the 9 realms? Odin had the Odin force. Like, it's a... like cosmic throws that he actually wielded and had lots of... it kind of makes no sense.
Well, yeah, like exactly, and like, and fairness where fairness is due. So, like, we had Black Panther, and whatever Chadwick Boseman passed away in real life. Otherwise, he would still be there. And having Shuri, I have no problem with. It's his sister, so we'll see how that follows on. But obviously,
but again, I
have no problem with that.
The thing is though that it's not. I mean, even if you like place Shuri as the new Black Panther, I think like everyone's going to. So this is the same thing happened with Spartacus. I actually watched season 1 of Spartacus, and I really liked it. Then the second season, the show opened, there was a random guy just running, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Sorry, then I actually Googled and I found out the lead actor actually passed away. And I was completely disinterested with that show. I don't want this person as the hero anymore. I quit. I didn't watch it anymore.
Well, yeah, I'm very willing to see what they what the Black Panther sequel is going to be. But like, and so obviously you get at what. Oh, so here's the other thing, and this goes back a little bit in time to the middle. So Ant-Man. Now, obviously, they're doing the storyline that what is Ant-Man? What is the current Ant-Man called? Scott Lang.
Right?
Scott Lang. Yeah, but like the character Scott Lang. They put it into the story that he's just a loser, and Michael Douglas as Hank Pym is the genius one, and this was perhaps where it started, because it's like, well, why should Scott Lang be Ant-Man when the genius? All of these superheroes should be like soldiers or geniuses, not just randomers.
Also, David, in defense of Ant-Man, though, Hank Pym actually did do a test where he did actually test us out his intellect, where he actually planned the heist, and he actually saw Scott actually had very good critical thinking, and he could think up on his feet. He figured out that the door was made out of Titanic steel, and he had to So
Titanic.
Yeah. So the
it's gonna
steel
sing.
Actually,
Titanium.
Titanium.
Exactly what happened. So in the movie Ant-Man, Hank Pym basically made a heist. So Paul Rudd.
I remember actually. Fair point.
Yeah, and they actually had a steel door which they couldn't crack. But then Paul Rudd figured out it's from the Titanic, and you need to super cool it because ice glacier is a kryptonite for Titanic steel. I'm not sure how true that is, but like yeah. So in that he actually showed some very quick critic thinking. But in defense of the random people, David, the thing is like, isn't that the classic superhero tale? Was just like random like story?
Like, because if we look at what I just said, the classic tale is that they're all geniuses or soldiers. Now they're all just some schlub off the street.
Yeah, and I would say like the character.
Because even like Spider-Man, is like he's a high school kid, but he's a genius.
Yeah. True, but here's the thing though. I would say like even those random persons who get selected to be superheroes, they often show some sort of great character moral in them. Even like Captain America. I still think like Captain America is a brilliant film, and we had the German scientists had the talk with weak Steve Rogers, and it shows very high moral character. And then you can understand it, but like. The weird thing with the current superheroes, like, they're kind of basically assholes. I mean, think about the trailer with She-Hulk. She's, like, blaming all superheroes. They're all narcissists and brilliant.
Yeah.
What? If it weren't for them, half of the population still be vanished. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Okay, so, go ahead.
I would say, like, the one thing, like, it's like the current thing, I would say. Like, when there's, like, a classic thing that's already established, is immediately the next film somehow has to find a way to hate it. Like when you come to think about Star Wars, is that the Star Wars finally, the Jedis were the good guys, but like the new sequels kind of made it look like Jedis were kind of assholes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like the trend where it's like when there's you actually with the same with the Avengers, you had all these people who actually had great sacrifice, had to give in great sacrifices to be heroes, and the new guys just random people like shitting on them. And they're saying like, we're actually the better people.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Star Wars, have you guys seen not Solo? I keep saying that. Obi-Wan.
I've seen the 3 episodes. I've not seen it afterwards.
Oh, I've seen the first 3 episodes as well. So that's as far as I've caught up to it. What are your thoughts, Cap?
I think I said this earlier. It's not punchy enough for me. It feels like a very drag. I get Ewan McGregor's, not Ewan Obi-Wan Kenobi's story is supposed to be right now he's finding his redemption arc. The thing is, like, again, it's too mopey, too, again, not punchy. I caught a glimpse of Darth Vader in the episode 3, and here's my problem with it. This Darth Vader doesn't feel like the classic Darth Vader. It feels like the annoying Anakin Skywalker Darth Vader. Because he's like randomly just like killing people. It's like the same kid. You have no idea what my power is. That whiny kid is like going on a rampage. I get it. Like it's on par with the prequels. But the thing is that I think they established Clone Wars as canon as well, and it had a much of a longer story time. And everyone agreed the Clone Wars Anakin was way better, and they can believe that Anakin turning into the badass Darth Vader, not this wimpy kid that had in the prequels.
Yeah.
But why again, this Darth Vader feels so pity and cheapo? He's not a methodical cybernetic killing machine. He's, again, raging out.
But so this is literally kind of his, like, coming to become Darth Vader thing. So I don't know how many episodes this season is going to be, or this series is going to be, but they have time. But I suspect they probably won't do what you say. I expect that won't be the case. But I'll be honest, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it so far. I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy, and I know some people have said that this messes with canon in certain ways, and I haven't picked up on how it has yet, but it might do. But so far, so good. I think it's an interesting story. And maybe, like, the way it doesn't... I can't remember how much in the original, because this has got basically the rescue mission of Princess Leia and stuff. Yeah. And I don't know how... Like, did she really know Obi-Wan and stuff from as a child? Is that the thing where it's broken?
I think she did, right? She goes, she called for Obi-Wan to come and rescue her.
So, and this would show how...
She would come to know.
What do you think of the performance of the kid playing Princess Leia?
It's a kid.
I think she's doing really well. I think... Do you guys remember the movie Bird Box? The Sandra Bullock film where there's like... if there's like a monster, if you look at them, it will kill you, sort of thing. Quite a good film.
Oh, yes, I know that. Yeah,
so this kid plays like the 2-year-old from that film, who was like the character girl in that, who was just like 2 or 3 or 5 years old or whatever, is now playing Princess Leia, and I was like, God, that kid is like her, like the rest of her life, she can be nothing else, turning up to conventions and signing Princess Leia, like autographs and stuff. So,
it's a weird thing with child actors. Like, you don't immediately never actually judge their performance. You like give them a free card. I think that's the same thing that Daisy Ridley said. Is like Baby Yoda has this free card. He's so cute. He can do anything that he wants, and he won't get blamed for anything. But I didn't have that sort of luxury. And I would kind of agree. Like, we get overwhelmed with cuteness, and we don't base the same criticism on what we base on others on them.
Well,
it's just like a get out of free card. If you're cute, you sell.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, have you guys seen... What else have I seen this week? A couple of other things. Well, I might have even mentioned this last week. Recently I've seen Stranger Things and I've seen The Boys. Have you guys seen either of these?
I'm up to date with The Boys.
You're up to date with The Boys, Andrew?
Yeah, well, I watched episode 5 this morning.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen today's episode. So, what are your thoughts on this new season of The Boys?
Yeah, I've really been enjoying it.
Is that it?
You want me to go to like deep dive?
Well, no, it's just like, you know, I could consider, since we're like on a show, we may try to...
I'll say this, when we love things, we don't actually explain why we love those things, why it's good, but when we hate it, we just like pour in the comments.
I tell you what, I've had this theory for a lot of years, like, if something's good, people are like, yeah, that's good, and then they forget about it. If something's bad, it sticks with people so much more. It sticks with people so much more. You know, it is so much harder to do something right in this world. You know, like any little thing, you get vilified and butchered. Like,
I mean, I think sometimes, like, when you look at the bad film, you realize how good was the old film is, and suddenly the old film becomes popular. I think Disney knows this, and that's why, like, you can create a bad remake. People are just gonna come and watch it just to see how bad it is or how good it is. And if it's bad, they're just gonna go back to the old movie, and again, Disney gets the views.
This cat. I don't know if you guys know this. I think this is true and not urban legend. In like the 1980s, Coca-Cola created New Coke. Do you know this story? And it's because, okay, I've got some cans here, so I'm going to like demonstrate. Right, so here we have a Coca-Cola. Here we have the Pepsi. Now, Coca-Cola was always the king of the brands, but Pepsi was rising in popularity. So to combat Pepsi, Coca-Cola said, we're inventing New Coke. And they put out New Coke with a new recipe. And everyone was like, this is disgusting. And then everyone panic bought the original Coke. And then a few months later, and so now Coke was toppling the sales of Pepsi because everyone wanted to get the last scraps of the original Coke. And so then when it was all dried up and you could only get New Coke, Coca-Cola said, we hear you. We're bringing back classic Coke. And everyone bought it. So they did this thing to make it. So it's like with Star Wars. If they put out like Star Wars 7, 8 and 9 and everyone's like, these are terrible, everyone then rushes to buy the originals.
I think it happened with the prequels, right? I know the prequels were bad, like, because of the new sequels, everyone's like, the prequels are some sort of like a holy grail thing. I mean, it's not. I would give you the original is good, but the prequel, I mean, there's some good stuff in it. The fights are really well done. But I would give it this. But, like, suddenly it became like the holy grail.
Okay, hang on 1 second. So, in the comments, Dawna Green Gonzalez says, New Coke was disgusting. Now, I don't even, like, I'm not sure where you are in the world, Dawna. I don't know if we ever got New Coke here in the UK. And maybe I just a little bit beyond my recollection of being able to say that I had it. But the one rumour, and perhaps you can fill us in on this thing. Apparently, when you get Diet Coke now, Diet Coke that we have today is the Diet Coke of New Coke. So Seattle. So I don't know if New Coke ever came to the UK, but apparently when we have Diet Coke today, it tastes nothing like Coca-Cola. But apparently Diet Coke that we have today is the diet version of New Coke. And then when they brought back original Coke, that is now just Coke. So who knows?
But again, also this is the other thing that I have to actually ask questions. So Diet Coke, again, it's not going to make a difference, right? I mean, if you're like trying to cut out soda, just cut out soda. I mean, if you overly cut out soda, it's going to do much better for your health than like switching to just a soda.
Oh no, it's worse than that, and I say that when I sit here on every show with one of these, right? Like these diet sodas, like they're much worse for you than the regular ones. So like, if you have like Coca-Cola, it's full of sugar, and that's bad for you. This has got artificial sweeteners. It's got an ingredient in it somewhere. I'll find it. Called aspartame, and it's really bad. It can like affect your balance. It can affect your memory, and all these kind of things. Like if you look up aspartame, it had this huge scandal about 10 or 15 years ago, where apparently it's just like one of these terrible things, this terrible artificial thing. So apparently, actual Coke is better for you than the diet one. But I say that this is like the crazy thing, because obviously, you know, people do everything that's bad for them. They'll smoke, they'll drink, they'll do drugs or whatever. And I'm sitting here saying, "Oh, this is so bad for you," and then I'm like,
"But I drink it every day."
It's tasty though. It's tasty. Right. Oh, hang on. If you need to clean your battery terminal in your car, pour a Coke over it. There you go. Wow.
I have the Geek Battle.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? I don't know. Sorry, what happened to Geek Battle? Yeah, I know. I don't know. But this is even. I won't read it. There is a typo. I'll tell you guys in a bit. Right. Right. Okay. So, right. Geek Battle. You were saying about the boys, Andrew. See, if you'd captivated us about the boys, then we'd have been on Geek Battle.
I've finally seen Dexter New Blood. I'll finish that.
Oh, you've seen Dexter New Blood. What do you think?
Yeah. I really liked it. A few nitpicks, but overall.
What are your nitpicks? See, we're going to focus on the negatives.
Well, I mean, that didn't really affect the show overall, but I just found it a bit weird. Like the daughter of the sheriff. Yeah. Like she's sort of painted as a bit of an activist to begin with. There's this oil guy. He's in like 2 scenes, and then it's like, what? Who's the fucking oil guy? No, the guy that comes out of the cafe. Yeah. I think in the first episode, he's in another scene, and it's like that went nowhere. Like, who was that? Who was he?
Cap, have you seen Dexter?
No. Yeah, I mean, I have, about a boy and his laboratory.
No. This is about a serial killer, right? He's the Robin Hood of serial killers. He kills, he's a serial killer that kills...
the killers.
Yes.
He kills the killers.
Yes. Okay, hang on. Breaking news here. Jimmy Mack says, rumour is Coke did New Coke. I can't believe this. We're sitting here discussing Miss Marvel, discussing Star Wars, and this is like the most comments we've had on a Geek Battle show in ages. But anyway, Jimmy Mack says, rumour is Coke did New Coke to modify the recipe on Coke Classic without people noticing. One of the executives was quoted as saying, "We're not that stupid, but we're also not that smart." How about that? And Dorna says, it's so acidic, it cleans it off. So there you go.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, so I really liked Dexter New Blood. And I was hoping that they'd just keep making more Dexter. So they can't now, because they ended it the way they should have ended the original, supposedly. But if they'd ended the original the way they should have, then they couldn't have made this. So I get
why... When Batista showed up, I mean, it would be nice to see him and...
Okay, not the wrestler, Cap, not the wrestler.
Yeah, not the wrestler.
Yeah, suddenly there's a run-in. Da-da, da-da. Right.
It would have been
Drax
nice
the Destroyer's there.
It would have been nice to see him and Dexter have a scene or something, but I understand why it didn't.
Yeah, absolutely, they should have done something like that, but they didn't. I thought it was very good, though.
Right.
And also, John Lithgow being in it was kind of not what I was hoping for when they announced that John Lithgow was going to be in it.
Well, when they announced that, I knew it would be some, because for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah, obvious reasons.
Either flashback or... maybe
what if Dexter went against Hannibal Lecter?
Hannibal Lecter would win.
Oh.
Hannibal Lecter would win.
I've actually seen the show Hannibal, though. I haven't checked out Dexter, but I've actually seen the show Hannibal.
Do you like the show Hannibal?
I like the first season. The second season kind of dragged it out, and the third season I lost interest, so I stopped watching.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll give you my thoughts on the show Hannibal, and this kind of holds true to a lot of TV shows which have already been something that's been a film. That they kind of jump the gun, and every single week they kind of do like a mini version of the same movie. So in Hannibal, like, they made such a big deal when that series was coming out, where they were like, if you didn't know that Hannibal was a cannibal, then it would surprise you. And literally in the first episode, they're like, they've got some other cannibal in it because they're so unoriginal. They're like, this guy's a cannibal. And then they show Hannibal eating meat. And it's like, well, no, you've signposted this so much. Like, you've signposted it so much. What I would really... And it was the same when they did Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Hannibal has to have a cannibal in it. Terminator has to have another Terminator doing the same old Terminator fights. And they do this in Smallville. Every single week there was basically a supervillain. And it's like, it doesn't matter that the world hasn't heard of Superman. They know that there's the Blue Blood, which is the exact same thing. They just jump the gun and do the movie before they get to the movie. But what I would love to see... I would love to see... a series that took you by surprise, like an adaptation of something where you didn't know what it was, and I'll give a couple of examples. So there's quite a famous video game which never came out called PT. Do either of you know it? PT. It came out, I believe, right when the PlayStation 4 was first a thing, and it stood for Playable Teaser. And everyone got this demo. What is PT? And you play it, and it only lasts about 45 minutes or whatever. And it's a horror game. And when you complete it, it's a first-person game. when you complete it, it goes to a cutscene, and you see who the character is that you've been playing as, and suddenly you see it's the actor Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. And then the title screen comes up, and it says Silent Hill, which is a famous video game series, and it adds an S on, and everyone was like, oh my god, for the last hour, I've been playing a Silent Hill game and didn't know it. And it was just the most ingenious way of, like, springing something on the people, right? What I would love to see, and the other example I'll give is the movie Predator. If you watch the movie Predator, it's some army dudes in the jungle, and after about half an hour, suddenly an alien turns up.
I had no idea what the Predator was. So when the first film that was on TV, I saw Arnie and the Boys. Yeah. I thought, okay, the title was Predator, so I'm like, okay, so it's like a jungle predator battle scene. That's pretty much the idea.
And then an alien turns up.
Took me by surprise. I was like, bonkers.
And so what I would love, so there's this new Predator series coming out called Prey. Now imagine if it was called Prey. Sorry?
Is it series or movie?
I thought it was a series. I might be wrong though.
I have no idea.
Okay, maybe it's a movie, whatever it is. But imagine if there was a movie or a series out called Prey. Well, let's go with the series just for now. But imagine if there was a movie or series called Prey, and the logo is just its own thing. And then halfway through, or like just before the end, you've been watching this and there's all these things which you're like, oh, there's something familiar about this or whatever. And then suddenly a predator turns up. And you're like, oh my god, I've been watching these 10 episodes. And it suddenly takes me by surprise. Or, like, if you watched Fear the Walking Dead, and it's all like, we're in this town and something weird is happening. And you're watching it, and it's just called, like, whatever the town may be called. It could be called, what's a typical American town name?
Texas?
Texas.
That's
Great.
That's a state. Smallville? Smallville?
Intercourse.
What's that, Andrew?
Intercourse.
Excellent. God, guys. Right.
It's a real place.
I bet it is. No, I know it is actually. Right. Well, let's say it's called Bigville. There's this show called Bigville because we're not going to be original, right? And there's this show called Bigville, and there's some weird stuff going on, and there's some government agents, and they're all like, "There's a conspiracy. What's going on?" And then at the end, suddenly, like in the final episode of season 1, suddenly people start turning into zombies. And then they just, like on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right at the end, it suddenly said Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Like, the name of the town, like, falls down, and it's like Fear the Walking Dead. You're like, oh my god, this whole series has been The Walking Dead and we didn't know. That would be exciting. Andrew?
I think,
I was going to say, because I'm not a massive comic book person, like the early days of the MCU, for example. You know, I remember seeing Iron Man at the cinema, knew nothing about like the source material. You know, I went to see it because I saw the trailer. It looked okay. Had actors in it that I liked. But I remember when I saw The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. And again, I had no idea about an MCU, about any of that. I'm not a comic book guy. So when Robert Downey Jr. showed up at the end, I was like, okay. So that.
Yeah. So it's this kind of thing. Like, there's so many there's spoilers and everything now. But it would just be so good if they could. I'd love it though on a series. Or even if it was a series of films where you suddenly realise that something's connected. Now, I know on, like, King Kong, like, they kind of, like, oh, you suddenly realise this is going to be connected to Godzilla, and they didn't announce that in advance.
Yeah.
Stuff like this, I think they should do a lot more of.
I think, like, with the Avengers thing, like, I was the only one who knew about the Avengers. My whole class didn't know about, like, they knew Justice League because that was a show on TV. But I saw the Ultimate Avengers movie, but none of my friends did. Yeah. So I was the guy saying, guys, they're going to team up, and this is going to happen. No one believed me. But then I had to physically show them the film, the animated film, and they were like, oh, and they got extra excited when the Avengers film, and they, like, lost their minds. Or, like, I like, remember the Strictly being the only person in class saying that this is all going to be a one big movie. You guys don't get it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, go ahead, Cap.
Didn't like Resident Evil, the one with Ethan Winters, like didn't that game kind of? I didn't know that was a Resi game. I think I clicked on the middle of a trailer and realized that when Chris showed up, I actually thought it was a Resi game. Before that, I didn't even.
Okay, so what happened there? This is a little bit similar actually. So the funny thing is, Resident Evil 7 is a first-person game, much like PT was, and everyone said, "Oh, Resident Evil have finally copied Silent Hill." They put out a demo called Kitchen. It was just set in a kitchen, and it was someone tied up there, and it was just called Kitchen. And when people played it, they were like, "Oh, this is a new horror game, and it's called Kitchen." And it was only later on then people did. So it's a good point that you bring this up. People suddenly realised, because I don't think you knew when you played it. It was only later they announced Kitchen is actually a preview of what Resident Evil 7 is going to be. And the way the word kitchen was written, with like the T in the middle, there was a little break in the crossbar of the T, so it actually had a number 7 hidden in plain sight, and that was a tease for Resident Evil 7. And then they kind of, with Resident Evil 8, they kind of went with the idea of that they just called it Village, and like the title of that one is a little bit like, is it Village? Is it Resident Evil Village? Is it Village Resident Evil? It's kind of very ambiguous about what that title actually should be.
I would say I'm not a fan of the Resident Evil Village though.
Okay.
Except for Lady Dimitrescu, I think that's like one of the best things that came out of Resident Evil games. But the thing is, like, I because, like, again, unpopular opinion, I think Resident Evil 6 is really good, and I thought they were going to go with that direction. But I did like the Resident Evil remake though.
Yeah.
But again, the Leon was a little bit on the softer side, but again, I kind of liked it.
I can't remember if I shared this already. Have you seen that they're doing a remake of Resident Evil 4?
Oh yes, yeah, you have.
Yeah. Oh my
and
god.
I'm actually all for it, because like I actually did buy a DVD for Resident Evil 4, but the CD, it was CD, not a DVD. The CD didn't work, so I never got to play it. So, but I knew it. But then right now I don't want to play it again because like the graphics are too bad. So
What?
I don't.
What do you mean the graphics on Resident Evil 4 are too bad? This is insane, Cap.
I mean, compared to 6 and the games that I'm used to, it's kind of that's the problem. But the thing is that I already know the story. So again, not many surprises. But I'd be happy with the remake, because the remake, they do put in some new stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just the old thing?
No, it's going to be a complete reimagining. Like Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remakes and the original Resident Evil remake, they are all complete reimaginings. So there's different stuff happens. You know, it's not exactly the same.
So do you think there's a chance for Claire and Leon?
For Claire and Leon, no. They've already showed. I think they've already showed that Ada's in it. So.
So here's another bit of trivia. This may not be true or not. I think in Resident Evil 6 that you collect these things and you get a tidbits of story. There was one bit of story where Chris actually sends Leon a wedding ring and then tells him to go and propose to Claire.
Wow, I don't.
And and if not, he was going to break his legs. So I actually thought that was a really good.
I'm going to investigate that.
Yeah, I actually heard that and I went, oh my god, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, right, guys. Just because of time and that there's going to be this other Xstreamed show later on tonight, we'll begin to wrap things up. But first, let's do some impressions. So, I'm going to get a list of impressions. And let's roll the dice to see who will go first. I will go first. So, I'm going to do impressions. Keep track of how many you guess right. And buzz in if you think you know who I'm doing the. See, look, we haven't had a single comment since we stopped discussing new Coke. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right, anyway, and here we go. Come with me if you want to live. A Cap.
The Terminator?
Which one?
T-800.
Yes, correct. Spider-Man, don't let me fall to my death. Andrew.
MJ?
No.
Buzz?
Cap.
Gwen Stacy?
Yes, correct.
I'm getting a headache because of this.
Okay, let's see if you got this. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire in spurts if he shoots ya. It's gonna hurt. He's bigger, Stronger and faster too. Okay, Cap.
Donkey Kong?
Yes, it is Donkey Kong. Yes,
I
well
never
done,
played
man.
that
Well
game.
done. Okay, excellent stuff. Let's see who we've got here. Like, meow, Batman.
Buzz.
Andrew.
Catwoman.
Yes. Hey, Batman.
Oh, Buzz.
Andrew.
Green Arrow.
Yes. Okay. Shh. I am your father. Cap.
The Darth Vader?
Yes. Mr. Potter, where are you going today?
Who's that?
Oh, come on, guys. Come on, that was such a good impression off the top of my head. Skip then. Oh, I've run out of time. Right, that one was Rambo. So anyway,
Who was the Harry Potter one?
it was a Harry Potter one. So you know who it was.
I knew the Harry Potter one.
Oh, did I say Harry
Who was-
Potter? Right, it's Mad Eye Moody, wasn't it? Right. Anyway.
I think you should have just done an eye patch.
Oh, but his eye moves in the movie. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is going to do an impression of Americans drinking New Coke? Well, we'll see. One of us. Right. Whoever wins tonight will. Right. Let's stop the timer. In fact. So, Cap, how many did you get right?
Oh God. Darth Vader. Donkey Kong. I think T-800.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
it?
all I can
How many did you get, Andrew? 2. Okay. So, how did you get the Donkey Kong? What did you tell me about the Donkey Kong one?
Coconuts.
Yeah,
And then-
that is
and then
the
biggest.
that is the
bigger,
DK
stronger.
that is the DK rap from Donkey Kong 64.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I love that.
This is like the part of the time where like every cartoon somehow attempted to do rap music because they think they can do it, can make it cool.
Yeah. Oh no, everyone says that the DK rap was bad. Right. Okay, let's see who will go next. And it will be Andrew. So, Andrew, I'm going to send you over your list and your time. Oops, have I sent it? There you go. Right, your
Yes.
time starts now.
Oh, God. Skip. 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 I'm Batgirl.
Buzz, Cap.
Barbara Gordon.
Yep. Skip. I used to be a science teacher. Now I'm gonna make
Buzz,
less.
Walter White.
Yep. Oh, my, skip. Jesus Christ. I don't know half of these. Oh, Ghostbusters, Green.
Buzz, Slimer.
Yeah, terrible impression. Great Scott.
Buzz, Doc Brown.
Yep. Skip. Oh, God. Skip. Oh, Buffy's sister.
Oh, Buffy's sister. Buzz, Dawn.
Yep.
Ah.
Not
I was just gonna
Ant-Man,
guess
but
names.
not Ant-Man, but
Cap.
the other one.
You are the Wasp.
Yes. Skip. I'm running out of ones that I know.
That is time. Right. So
Oh, I know that one.
Jimmy Mac says, also, I read that aspartame isn't as bad for you as the panic about it would have you think. Well, I'm sure that's the aspartame company saying that. Right. Okay. Now then, let's.
I think anyone who's like drinking Diet Coke, like all the health problems, I blame it on whatever that is.
Yeah. Do you know what? I saw Back to the Future the musical like a few weeks ago, and there's a really.
Again?
Sorry.
Again?
No,
Again?
a few weeks. This is when I saw it. Right. I'd happily see it again. Right. But there's a really weird scene in it during one of the songs where they're like, hey, it's the 1950s. Everyone should smoke. And it's just like, it's so out of place because that completely didn't happen in the film. And they didn't need to do that sort of thing to show the attitude of the 50s. But anyway, right. So, Capelthave, I'm going to send you your list, and your time starts now.
He-Man. I'm the comic relief.
Orko.
Correct. I'm in the Justice League. I am Green Arrow's girlfriend. I'm also a superhero. I scream.
Plus,
Andrew.
Correct.
Mary.
Yes. In the brightest days and blackest nights, no evil shall escape my sight. With all the powers of evil, like revere my power.
Green Lantern.
Correct. I'm a Spider-Man villain. I have animal powers.
Buzz, Rhino.
No, I have all sorts of animal powers.
All sorts of animal powers.
Yes, I'm a predator myself.
Raven the Hunter.
Correct. Jinkies, I think this is a clue, Fred. Scooby, get over here.
Buzz, Daphne.
No, Jinkies, the other one.
Oh. Andrew?
Elmer.
Correct.
Elmer.
I shoot webs.
Buzz, Spider-Man.
Correct. Skip. Ooh, I am Superman's girlfriend that David likes.
What?
Not the famous one, the other one that only David and probably Jana likes. From Smallville.
Buzz, Lana Lang.
Yes.
That is time. That is time.
Uh,
Right. Okay. So that has brought us to the end here, and the winner this week, guys, is me. So there you go. I'm this week's Geek of the Week, but we're going to find out where we can find everyone on social media, plus our cast's recommendations to you for the following week. Andrew, where can the people find you, and what would you recommend for them?
You can find me probably back here next week. Recommendation: Last Night in Soho.
Okay, but just take lots of money. Right, okay, Capelthave, where can the people find you, and what is your recommendation?
you can find me on Xstreamed and multiple shows, and also you can find me on Sorties, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in the bucket, I work with puppets. It's on YouTube, Phoenix, and even TikTok. My recommendation for the week is the Robert E. Howard's Conan series. See, I actually did want to read this a long time ago. This is a PDF that I just printed out because I didn't buy the books. Yes, that's me. But I would recommend these books because, one trivia fact with Robert E. Howard as well. He was in debt and his mother was sick, and he had to write all these books, and he just popped them out in months. There is a sad fact to it, which I'm not going to say in it, but the thing is, the movies don't justice for Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Cimmerian. I should read those books. They're actually really good, and they depict Conan in a different light.
Okay, there you go. My name is David Pastansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pastansky. Now, as promised, as I am this week's winner, I'm going to do an impression of Americans drinking New Coke. So here we go. I'm an American. God damn, Martha, they've changed the Coke. There you go. What do you think? Was it good? Was it good? Was it accurate? Was it convincing? Right, okay. So, anyway, moving on from that, my recommendation for this week is to listen to the 1 hour cut of Kate Bush running up that hill as featured in the series Stranger Things. Because after the 45-minute mark, you'll get into a weird place. Now then, so, with this... right, and also, what was this last week, Andrew? You were like, what was that song you said was in The Boys?
Oh, Uptown Girl.
Literally, it played at the end credits. I swear I didn't hear it at any other point.
Yeah, episode 1, that's what I said. Well, it played during the episode. But...
No, I only heard it at the end. I just love, though, that scene in episode 1. I've watched that dozens of times. You know the scene.
Oh, the opening.
The opening. Well, not quite the opening, about 5 minutes in. Right, but that's just... But, I take umbrage with it, because, look, if a micro man... went inside, you know...
Oh, yes, the Thanos thing, yeah.
But the thing was, he was inside his wang, right? So wouldn't have it just ripped his wang off?
Anatomically, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't know why it killed him. Anyway.
I mean, he was still killing, blood loss.
Well, yeah, but, anyway. So, and the Oscar goes to... says Dawna. Excellent. So, with that, from me, from everyone else, stay safe, always stay extremed, live long and prosper.